Nate Jacobs is dead, and while Euphoria fans have spent 3 seasons waiting for his downfall, the specific way it happened in episode 7 has left the audience in a state of collective shock. Since the pilot, Nate has been the series' primary source of trauma, a character defined by manipulation and violence. For years, the show's narrative encouraged viewers to anticipate the day he would finally face the consequences of his actions. Season 3, Episode 7 finally delivered that moment, but it traded a standard narrative payoff for a level of physical and psychological brutality that shifted the entire tone of the series. Online reactions show a sharp divide. One camp viewed the death as the ultimate karmic justice for a character they've loathed for years. Other viewers reported feeling physically sickened, arguing that the sequence crossed from drama into gratuitous cruelty. This split raises a question about the intent of the writing. Is this simply a jump into shock horror, or did creator Sam Levinson intentionally leverage the audience's hatred for Nate to lead them into an emotional dead end? By making the deserved punishment this agonizing to watch, the episode forces the audience to confront the reality of their own desire for vengeance, and whether that satisfaction holds up when the violence is actually carried out. This collapse happens against a backdrop of total exhaustion for Rue. Trapped in the orbit of Elordi and Alamo, she is physically and mentally broken, appearing closer to a complete surrender than at any other point in the season. But as Rue reaches her lowest point, Allie returns to the story. For many viewers, his reappearance serves as the final emotional anchor, capable of pulling Rue back from a fight for survival. While Rue finds a potential lifeline, Cassie and Nate's trajectory takes a sharp turn downward. The illusion of stability they build on fame and toxic codependency evaporates as the reality of their mounting underworld debt finally catches up to them. The episode is built on this structural contrast. At the same moment Rue is offered a path toward redemption, Nate and Cassie are being pulled into a situation they cannot control. Nate's literal downfall is triggered by a financial collapse. He owes a significant sum of money to a criminal named Nas, and when the debt isn't settled, the situation escalates into a direct physical assault. This schematic shows the logistics of the punishment Nas chooses. Nate is placed in a coffin buried deep underground, with only a single narrow pipe serving as his connection to air and water. The sequence plays out like a psychological horror film. While Nate is trapped in total darkness, the camera follows Cassie and Maddy as they desperately search for the burial site before his air supply fails. When they finally locate the coffin and pry it open, they find that Nate is already dead. But the cause of death wasn't the lack of oxygen they were racing against. A rattlesnake had discovered the air pipe on the surface and slithered down the tube, trapping it inside the sealed box with Nate. This gruesome execution marks a definitive shift for Euphoria. By moving into the territory of survival horror, the show has abandoned its traditional teen drama tropes for something far more visceral. Reports from Cosmopolitan suggest this method of execution was calculated to maximize viewer discomfort. The diagram shows the cycle. The audience's long-held desire for his downfall funnels into a brutal execution, circling back as psychological unease. By forcing the audience to witness this visceral suffering, extreme retribution is rarely as satisfying in practice as in the abstract. Even Jacob Elordi has weighed in on the character's end, describing it as a bittersweet conclusion to a villainous role that defined his career, but remained one of the most controversial figures on television. Nate's death leaves a massive narrative void in the series. As we head into the finale, multiple criminal storylines involving Elordi, Alamo, and Nas are now colliding without a central antagonist to anchor them. The questions for the final episode have shifted from high school drama to basic survival. Can Cassie mentally recover from the trauma of the coffin? And can Rue successfully navigate the criminal world she's still trapped in? By taking the show's most hated character and giving him an ending this disturbing, Episode 7 has reset the stakes. The traditional power structures of the series are gone, leaving the remaining characters to face a finale where no one is safe.